Hi friends, welcome back to this new class, and I hope you remember that we are dealing with a criminal case. A person called Shanti, she was working in a house, and from that house the missus or the madam's gold chain was stolen, and they accused this Shanti as the thief because they found 10,000 rupees in her box, and therefore they have accused her and complained to the police that she has stolen the gold chain. The police has arrested her and put in the jail, and her brother who came to tell that his sister is innocent, the police did not believe. Police arrested him and put him also in the 2 days jail, beat him thoroughly. Still he did not accept the mistake that he has not done, and we see the injustice carried out by the police. So up to there we saw in the last class, and today we shall see what happens to Shanti again. The next day is 23 August. So almost more than a month Shanti is in the jail. Though she has not done the crime, she is punished wrongly. So in the 23rd August, although the court granted bail to Shanti after a month, so after staying so many days in the jail, finally court gives her bail. Bail means we can come out from the court temporarily, not permanently, not that she is completely free or innocent, but the case will go on, but she can stay outside the jail. That is called bail, because she is not an accused. Unless the court says you are guilty, she is not guilty. So till that time they have to deposit some money in the court and get bail. So if she is not going back for the continuation of the case, then she may lose that money as well. So after 1 month, Shanti is getting the bail. She was unable to get anyone to stand surety for her rupees 20,000. So how much money she gave to the court for getting bail? 20,000. And she therefore continued to be in the jail. So if she was able to give that money early, then she could have got bail early. Since there was nobody to give her that money, she continued to stay in the jail for a month. And she is very traumatized. Traumatized means mentally affected, psychologically affected, because she has not done any mistake and she is so faithful in her house, in her duty, but still she is punished, put in the jail for more than a month. And she is worried about what will happen during the trial. And afterwards court will begin the trial, and she is really worried. What judgment will the judge give? Will the judge say that she is innocent? Or will the judge, like S.I. Rao, will accuse her wrongly or not? So she is really worried about what will happen during the trial in the court. And she is also worried about that 10,000 rupees that she has lost. Police has taken away the 10,000 rupees that she was saving in order to buy a book. So when she is in the jail, all these things are going through in her mind, and she is really worried. She is really tense and psychologically affected. That is the case. Any person who is unjustly put in the jail, that person will be really traumatized, will be really suffering mentally. That is what happened to Shanti as well. Now let us see what happens next. So now Shanti is out in the jail, out from the jail on a bail, and court is calling her again for hearing. And So the court is going to begin that case again, that is again after a month. So it is 14th. Now 14th September. The case is going to start in the court in 14th September. So we see it happened in 18th July and the case is still going on. She did not get justice immediately. It is taking such a long time. And the police files a charge sheet in magistrate court. The court gives a copy of the charge sheet including statements of the witness to Shanti. Shanti tells the court that she has no lawyer to defend her against this false case of theft. So the court is going to begin and police is writing a charge sheet. These are the charges against her, that she has stolen the gold chain from her master's house and 10,000 rupees was found from her box. So this money is she got by selling the gold chain. All that is accused. All the charges are written in a paper and given to the court. And one copy is given to Shanti also. And Shanti is telling, I have no lawyer, I have no money to hire a lawyer, so I am helpless, I have no one to help me. And so magistrate appoints Advocate Kamala Roy as Shanti's defense lawyer at the government's expense. So that is the right of every person. When we are facing a trial in the court, if we have no money to hire a lawyer, if you have no money to pay fees to a lawyer, then government will supply a lawyer for us at the expense of the government. So government will pay the fees for him because we are poor and we have no one to stand by us. So Kamala, the case of Shanti also it was same. She was very poor and she cannot afford a lawyer. And therefore, the court is appointing a person. Her name is Kamala Roy. So she is an advocate, and so court says Kamala Roy will be your advocate. And according to Article 22 of the Constitution, so we now come to the rights that are mentioned in the Indian Constitution. So in the Article 21 we know it is talking about right to life. Now Article 22 speaks about every person has got a fundamental right to be defended by a lawyer. So when we are accused and produced in the court, we have got every right to be defended by a lawyer. If we have no money, then government should provide a lawyer. That is the right of every citizen, and it is written down in the Constitution of India, Article 22. That's why the court is following that Constitution of India and providing a lawyer to Miss Shanti. Article 39A, another article in the Constitution, that is number is 39A, that says a duty upon the state means the government, it is a duty of the government to provide a lawyer to any citizen who is unable to engage, one due to poverty or other disability. So what does the Constitution 39A says? It says it is the duty of the state to provide a lawyer to any citizen who is unable to hire a lawyer due to poverty or any other problems. So people may have different problems, some may have financial problem, some others may have any other problem, but if that person has no lawyer, then the state has to provide. So we don't have to pay the fees. The government will appoint a person and the government will pay the salary to that lawyer. So that is how Shanti is getting a lawyer, and her name is Kamala Roy. Now let us see what Kamala Roy is trying to do. Will Kamala Roy try to save Shanti, or will she also say she is guilty, she has stolen it? Let us see what is the result going to be. So Advocate Kamala Roy meets Shanti in the court. So Kamala Roy does not know what has happened. So she has to speak to Shanti and find out the truth. What is the truth? Why she is accused and so on. And Shanti is telling to Kamala Roy, here are my case papers. I have been falsely accused of stealing my employer's gold chain. So Shanti is explaining everything to her. I am accused wrongly, falsely, that I have stolen my employer's gold chain. Actually, I have not stolen it. And they are also telling, they found 10,000 rupees in her box, which was the money she got from stealing the chain. They are accusing her of stealing the chain, selling it in the market, and getting 10,000 rupees and hiding it in her box. All that they are explaining to this new advocate Kamala Roy. And that is that day court withdrew, court did not complete the procedures. So afterwards the court is coming again. It is in month of December now. Now it is 11th December. The court is gathering again. So remember, the case is started in July. Now till December also the case is not yet over. Almost 6 months going to be. So the court framed a charge of theft of Mrs. Shinde's gold chain and possession of money 10,000 got from selling stolen property against Shanti. So the court is preparing a case. The case against Shanti is, you have stolen the chain from your master's house, from your employer's house, and you have sold it, and you got 10,000 rupees from it, and that is you were hiding in the box. That is the case. Court is giving the case against her. Then she says, I plead that I am not guilty. Shanti is telling, I say I am not guilty, I have not stolen it, and I want a trial. I am innocent, so I want have a fair trial. You have to prove. So the court is adjourned again. So that day nothing happened. With that the court is dispersed and the case will be taken up on another day. So next case is heard on 8th March 2007. So here it was 2006. So the case is going on now. 8th March already, and the case is not yet over. It is still going on. So the court has summoned again, and the trial is going to begin. The case is going to begin in the court. So the public prosecutor appears in the case on behalf of the state. He presents Mrs. and Mr. Shinde as a key witnesses. So here the affected people are Mr. and Mrs. Shinde. They have lost their chain, and therefore it is the right of the state to protect the rights of the citizens. So the lawyer that is standing on behalf of Mr. and Mrs. Shinde is representing the state, because it is a duty of the state to provide justice to its citizens. Here somebody's property is lost. Mr. and Mrs. Shinde, they have lost their property, and therefore the court is trying to restore it. And so this lawyer who is standing on their behalf is called public prosecutor. Public prosecutor. So remember the name, public prosecutor. So public prosecutor is the lawyer. Who is it? It is the lawyer for the affected person. Actually here who is affected? Mr. and Mrs. Shinde, they have lost their gold chain. So they are the affected. They are the one who is giving complaint. So the lawyer who is supporting the persons who are affected, they are called public prosecutor. So public prosecutor, he is telling in the court, asking Mr. and Mrs. Shinde, tell the court what you want to say. So Mrs. Shinde is telling in the court, I had kept my chain in the drawer and Shanti has stolen it, and no other outsiders except Shanti has entered into my room. Mr. Shinde searched her trunk and found out 10,000 rupees in her box in an envelope. Shanti got this money by selling the gold chain. She is a thief. So, the one who has given the complaint, that is Mrs. Shinde, she is repeating the same thing in the court, saying, I have lost my gold chain, and Shanti has stolen it because only she used to enter my room. And we searched her box and we found 10,000 rupees kept in an envelope in her box. So it is sure that she has stolen my gold chain. So that is from the side of the complainant, one who is complaining. Now next, the advocate Kamala Roy. Kamala Roy stands now to say her words, her part. So she cross-examines the prosecution witnesses, Mrs. Shinde. So Kamala Roy is going to question Mrs. Shinde now. So what you are basically saying is that you did not see Shanti steal the chain. So she is asking, you say your chain is lost, but you did not see her stealing. Nor you recover the chain from Shanti. You did not find the chain from her box also. You found only 10,000 rupees from her box, not the chain. And so Shanti was working in your house for 3 years and nothing has been stolen from the house. So you say she was working in your house for 3 years and never you found that she has stolen anything from your house. And you were paying her regularly the salary 1,000 for each month. So you are paying her salary every month 1,000 rupees each. So that is a case, that is a situation. So that day the opposite advocate, the public prosecutor, could not prove that Shanti has stolen the chain because they have no witness. They only found 10,000 rupees from her box. That is the only evidence. So that money could be from her salary because they are paying her salary every month. And she worked there for 3 years and she has not stolen anything before. Therefore, we cannot say that Shanti has stolen it. Now, the case is adjourned and it will be coming up in the court again after 1 month. Next hearing in the court is 20 April. So 20th April court is joining again to continue the case again. So Advocate Roy examines Sushil and his employer as defense witnesses. So now Advocate Roy is going to examine Sushil and his employer. And through their testimony, she is able to show that rupees 10,000 found in Shanti's trunk could well be the earning of Sushil and Shanti. So, Kamala Roy is a very smart advocate and she is able to question the employers of Sushil. Shanti's brother is working in a factory and they brought them also to the court and say the truth. They said, we are paying salary to Sushil. So this 10,000 rupees that is found in the box of Shanti, that is not a very high amount because both of them are getting their salary and so they are making a saving. Therefore they cannot say this money is from selling of the gold chain. It is by we can say by their salary, saving from their salary. So with that the court is adjourned again and the court will come back again after a month. Next hearing is 14 May. So 14 May the court is gathering again and then what is the latest development? And as the trial is nearing a completion, so they are able to prove that Shanti is not stealing and this money is by saving from her and her brother and so on. And there is also a case that Sushil learns that Inspector Sharma has busted a gang of youths who have been stealing jewelry from Shinde's neighborhood. So there is a police inspector Sharma. He has found out there is a gang of young people who used to go from house to house and steal jewelry from their house. So they busted that gang. They caught that gang of people. So some of Mr. Shinde's son's friends are part of this gang. So who are these people? So Mr. and Mrs. Shinde, they have a son and his friends are also in that group of thieves. Then Mr. Shinde's chain has been found in them. So when they caught them, they found the chain that was stolen from Mrs. Shinde's house is also in their hand. And Sushil tells Advocate Roy about this. And Advocate Roy now called Inspector Sharma as a defense witness. So they told Advocate Kamala Roy that Inspector has busted a gang there and the chain has been found in them and so on. So Advocate is calling that police inspector to the court to give testimony. So Kamala is asking, Inspector Sharma, can you show and tell us what you have found? So the police is going to inform the court what he has done. So he says, here is the chain that has been identified by Mrs. Shinde as hers. So here in my hand the chain is there and this is the chain that was stolen by Mrs. Shinde. And we busted a gang of boys who had stolen the chain. So he says, we found out a group of boys who were going around stealing and these boys have admitted that they have stolen the chain. So the police has caught the thief and they have accepted that it was they who stole the chain, not Shanti. So they have confessed their crime. They have accepted their mistake. So with that day's hearing is over. Then the court will come back again after 1 month or 2 months to give the final judgment. So next hearing is 15th July. So 15th July, the case is reopened again. The judge hears the testimony of all the witnesses. After the testimony of Inspector Sharma, Advocate Roy argues before the judge that it was now been established that Shanti is innocent and should be acquitted. So during the hearing of the court, Advocate Kamala Roy tells, now it is very clear that Shanti is innocent. She has not stolen the chain. The chain was stolen by the friends of Mrs. Shinde's son. So they are the one who stole it. So Shanti should be set free. She should be declared innocent. And so court is giving the verdict. Shanti, you are hereby acquitted of the charge of theft. So what said? You are set free. You are no more a thief. The police will hand over to you the 10,000 rupees they have seen. So they had taken away 10,000 rupees from your boss and they will hand over to you. And in my written judgment, I have made it a point to highlight S.I. Rao's role in conducting such a shoddy investigation that made you spend time in jail. So the judge also criticized police S.I. Rao. So it was because of his mistake that Shanti had to spend in jail so long. See, the case started in 2006, 18 July, and the case is over 15 July 2007. So 1 year into two, such a simple thing. The case took 1 year in order to be completed. So that is all because of S.I. Rao, who did not make any proper investigation. He was simply listening to the complaint given by Mr. and Mrs. Shinde and making Shanti to put in the jail and suffer. But because of the prosecutor, the defense lawyer, that is Kamala Roy, she was smart enough, and S.I. Sharma also meanwhile able to catch the real thief. Because of that, Shanti escaped. Shanti is declared as innocent. So that is the end of the crime. So finally, Shanti is able to get justice. Though she had suffered such a long time, 1 year in the jail, and after some time she was out in the bail, but still she is not declared as innocent. So that 1 year time she was really suffering, mentally suffering. So she was really suffering physically, psychologically, and so on. So from this above incident, you can see that the four key players in the criminal justice system are police, the public prosecutor, the defense lawyer, and the judge. So these are the four people who played a role in solving this case. First of all, the police. Then there are two lawyers are there. One lawyer for supporting the suffering person, the another one is for supporting the accused person. So two lawyers. One is defense lawyer, another one is public prosecutor. Then finally the judge is there. So these four people are involved in giving judgment. And you have seen the roles each of them plays in the above case. So we see each one of them has their own role. Police had their own role, writing FIR and so on. Then they presented case in the court, and two lawyers came, one for supporting Mr. and Mrs. Shinde, another one is for supporting Shanti, and finally depending on all the evidences, the court gives the judgment. The judge declares Shanti is innocent. So that is the end of this trial. And the next class we shall study in detail how they came to this conclusion, or how did these different four people play their role, and how did they manage to declare Shanti as innocent and so on. So thank you for listening. Have a nice day.